Welcome back to my channel. My name is Peyton Hawes, and today I'm going to be giving a recap and review of season 8 episode 10 of Netflix show Love is Blind. I almost forgot the name of it for a second. I'm going to give a quick life update. So if you don't want to hear it and you're like, I'm not here for that, skip to this timestamp to get right into the recap and review. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Let's join the conversation. Tell me what you think about all of these characters, whatnot. And yeah, let's get right into the video. Guys, you ever have a day where just like everything feels like a hot mess? That's me today. I've got the mic and headphones here today because my audio has not been great on my last couple videos. You could hear me, but it's all like fuzzy, and I never wear them because I don't want to. And I can see my volume bar on my recording software stuff on my computer behind me or in front of me behind the camera, so I can see the volume bar and see that I'm speaking at a good volume. But if it's fuzzy or anything like that, I can't hear that. So I'm just sucking it up and doing the mic and headphones today. We're doing it. Sorry these videos are coming out extremely late. My sister came in town to visit from California, and I haven't seen her in person in actual years, so that's depressing, but it was really fun. And then on like day 2, I think she got norovirus at my house, which like luckily me and my family all have had norovirus, so none of us got sick, but we had to sit and watch her and my niece get sick. And then my little brother came down to visit, and within 24 hours he was sick too. And I was like, great. And apparently I could have technically given it to them even though I haven't had it in over 2 weeks, or like around 2 weeks, because even though a person can't pass it on like within 48 hours after they're symptom free, apparently objects around your house can still have active contagious norovirus. Didn't know that, but they both knew that I had it before they came down. None of us knew that it could be contagious after that long in my house. I felt really bad. Anyway, this is not about me. I'm here to film season 8 episode 10 of Love is Blind recap and review, not film a show. What am I talking about? Yeah, and this is like the only time that I've had to film because I was visiting with my sister. I was not posting on my Instagram story, which I'm usually pretty active there, which if you're not following me, Peyton L Hawes. So it's like my same YouTube Instagram, but there's an L in the middle for my middle name. That's my Instagram. You should follow me there. You'll see a lot of just like more stuff about my life there. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, and then so my sister left this morning, so I went to work this morning. I helped like meal prep for and do some cleaning for a friend, and knew I needed to film today. I've literally only watched an episode and a half from this last release, and I think more episodes come out tomorrow. That's how behind I am. So I'm filming episode 10 now, and then as soon as I'm done filming this, I'm gonna finish episode 11 and all my notes and then film that one. And I don't know if it's gonna be possible for me to watch episode 12 and then film for that too, but I sure as heck am gonna try. I'm in a weird spot right now because a bunch of furniture was moved around in my house when I had visitors. I usually have like multiple desks in my room. I have one that's like my get ready desk that has like my hair and makeup stuff and jewelry and all of that jazz, and then I have another desk that has like my computer and filming stuff. And so usually I have another desk that has all my mic setup stuff, but I took all of it down so that my sister could have a desk in the guest room while she was here, and I haven't had a chance to move it back in here, so I'm just filming at a different angle, but I'm still in my room. I was wearing jeans with this outfit. Also, I keep looking back there because I'm staring at myself. I literally need to be looking at the camera. I was wearing jeans with this outfit, and I switched to sweats, but I was like, you're not gonna be able to see it on camera. And then I'm like, here you go. I'm in sweats, guys. But yeah, I just need to get into the video. This is insane. All right, I have my notes right here on my iPad today. So if you see me just not looking at the camera, I'm either looking at my notes or I'm looking at my viewfinder. And I keep looking at my viewfinder and I don't know why. But anywho, the episode kicks off with Dave and Lauren. Lauren confronts Dave about leaving the night before to hang out with friends, and she's emotional because He has been questioning whether she's ready for marriage, yet she feels like she's the one making an effort while he keeps pulling away. And Dave insists that he wants the relationship to work. Apparently, when he was out, there were some Love is Blind pod people at the bar, including Molly. Someone asked if he wanted to meet her, and he said no way. Later, Lauren introduces Dave to her mom, and her dad opts out of being on camera, and Dave mentions that his father might not make it to the wedding due to travel conflicts. I guess he golfs a lot. But when Lauren's mom asks if he's okay with that, he suddenly flips and insists that his dad will be there, which I felt like was a weird contradictory moment. Like, keep your story straight, Dave. Anywho, Lauren's mom seems really supportive. Oh, they raised her to follow her heart and that they will back her decision whether she and Dave end up together or not. Later, the two of them go on a bowling date, and Lauren seems to be supportive and invested in every time Dave has a turn. And then every time it's her turn, he seems like indifferent or he's not paying attention. And she seemed to play kind of like me, honestly. Like, she would sometimes get just like a full gutter ball and then other times would strike. Like, she was just kind of like teeter-tottering in like how good she was. And I feel like I bowled the same way. And so she'd be like, oh, and like he'd be looking at his phone and he's like, did you go? Oh, gutter ball. And I'm just like, excuse me? And then what was the other moment? Oh yeah, she had a strike, and which, if you're not into bowling, that just means like you hit all the pins on your first turn, and that's a good thing. You want that to happen. It's like the best turn you can have, and at least I think. And she's like, oh, like almost like she was excited but was trying not to get too excited because he'd be annoyed with her. And then he like was hardly paying attention, or wasn't at all. Rude. Okay, so then they sit down to eat some food and the conversation shifts to Dave's sister again. So if you haven't been here and you haven't been keeping up and you're just randomly stumbling upon this episode for some reason, Dave's sister has not seemed to approve of this whole process, thought it was super weird that he even went on the show in the first place, automatically assumed that any girl he'd end up with was some reality TV chasing, fame chasing girl who she would not approve of for Dave. And so Lauren has desperately been trying to meet her to change her views on that, and Dave has not been super helpful in that. And then there's all the drama about how she was dating a guy supposedly right before the experiment, never broke things off with him, and then she just so happened to get engaged to someone who has mutual friends with this guy, and so they don't have the greatest feelings about her. Lauren insists that there was not a mutual understanding of what the relationship was, and she did not believe that it was the type of relationship where she would need to break things off. It was something much more casual than that, like a friends with benefits kind of situation. But Dave has been hung up on that ever since. But anyway, as they start having the conversation, and Lauren's like, that's why like I really want to meet her so that she can see who I am and we can move past this. And he's like, I don't want to waste my sister's time. And she's like, okay, so if you don't want to waste your sister's time meeting me, then why are we doing this? Like, I don't want to keep doing this. And Dave kind of dodges the question a little bit and just says he doesn't want to have the conversation here and they should go elsewhere. Okay, next couple, Joey and Monica. Joey and Monica do a photo shoot with Monica's sister. Initially, Monica's sister was really skeptical about Joey, but after spending some time with him, she admits that she can see their chemistry, and her main concern was whether Joey could be serious enough, but she now feels more confident about him fitting into their family. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I feel like Monica and Joey are kind of similar in that they're really goofy, outgoing, loud, extroverted people, but they both can can be serious. But I guess it makes sense that if he was just being his loud, goofy, outgoing, extroverted self around her, and that was the only meeting that they'd ever had, she's like, okay, like, does this guy just make a joke out of everything, or does he have a serious side to him? Because how do we know he's not pretending if he's just this ha 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 about everything kind of guy? Which kind of makes sense to me. But yeah, after they've spent a little bit more time together, she's like, I could definitely see Joey becoming a part of this family. And it was kind of a cute, endearing exchange, if you will. Then we have Virginia and Dave. So they meet, not Dave, Virginia and Devin. Virginia takes Devin to meet her mom. Gosh, can I even talk? And there's just a lot of typical questions for him and wanting to get to know him and see how ready for marriage they are. And Virginia and Dave later in the show are chatting in the bed, and they seem to agree that the meeting with her mom went really well, and she seems to like Dave. Virginia wants to know if there's anything out in the open or lingering thoughts or feelings that they need to discuss before they get married. And at first I thought it was kind of suspicious the way that like she worded that. I thought maybe she was having lingering thoughts or feelings about him that she wanted to talk to him about, but I don't know if I was just like reading too much into that or if it was editing or whatever. But she's like, maybe we should talk about some of the things my mom brought up, like what makes you angry, what would make you leave, what would make you sleep in another person's bed. And Devin says he feels like they already discussed a lot of those topics and that they had mutual understanding on a lot of those things, or like they agreed on a lot of those things that would make him walk away from someone, so it wasn't a concern for him. Oh, Virginia starts bringing up politics, and she's like, okay, what about politics? Like, how do you usually vote? Or do you not want to talk about that? And she's like, because I usually vote, or he says that he kind of goes back and forth on a lot of topics. And she says that she usually votes Democratic, and she says that it's usually because of abortion rights and gay rights. And Devin didn't say specifically, but he said his family usually votes conservative because of their religious beliefs. And he said when it comes to an abortion that he feels like women should have a right to their own bodies, but he also feels like at the same time, guys, the man in the scenario, should have a say in what happens. And Virginia's like, well, yeah, I think that's the moral and thing to do. The right thing to do is to include the man in the conversation and all of it, that ultimately it should be the woman's decision for her body. And so they kind of seem to agree on that. And I definitely see where Devin's coming from in the sense that like he goes back and forth on different topics, just because for me, I am a really open-minded person. So regardless of what the topic is, a lot of times my opinions will have shifted from the last time that I had a discussion or took in new information about a certain topic. And sometimes it might shift a little bit and sometimes it might shift a lot. And that's why I'm a registered independent. Next, we have Daniel and Taylor. So they are out on a mini golf date, and they're just chatting about their days and work, and they begin to start expressing how comfortable they are with each other. Taylor even says that it feels like they've known each other their whole lives. Daniel compares their relationship to having been together for at least 6 months. I feel like their body language tells a different story. I don't know if they just have some nerves because there's cameras around and it's supposed to be this date or these like private conversations. Like, I assume that in the pods a lot of the cameras are hidden. I don't know, or at least disguised somehow. But I assume in the pods you get to a point where you kind of forget that cameras are there, but I could totally see going out in public and having cameras following you around and having like the mics on you, and they're like, okay, have your date, but try and make it interesting. That I could see some stress being there. So I don't know if that's the reason, but it just like isn't screaming we're about to get married. I'm not really getting those vibes. I'm getting like we're just dating, happy, comfortable, whatever. But at least a lot of their screen time since all of the drama has felt very boring. I mean, I felt like their screen time was really boring in the pods too. And I'm not saying that they are boring. I'm just saying maybe it's the editing of the show. I don't know, but a lot of it is just feeling boring. Okay, and lastly for episode 10, we have Sarah and Ben. So Sarah takes Ben to meet some of her friends. I think specifically one of them is her sister, and the other, I believe, is her sister's girlfriend. Could potentially just be another friend, but I think it was her sister's girlfriend. Anyway, they end up having some, I guess, tough questions, especially about like politics and religion. They want to know all the big stuff, and their biggest concern is that Sarah is moving too fast with Ben, saying that he's literally a stranger. Like, there has not been enough time for them to know if they're each other's person. And Sarah and Ben completely disagree. Sarah reassures that she and Ben have had serious discussions about their future and that they agree on everything. She insists that she's choosing to attend church with Ben, and not because she feels pressured to, but because she wants to support him, and that is like a happy place for him. And so she wants to be there with him through that. If it's something that doesn't end up being for her, she doesn't have to do it. And however, her sister and her girlfriend or friend or whoever she is seem to remain unconvinced. So when Sarah begins to get somewhat emotional, you could tell like she's just getting a little teary-eyed, and she just begins to just passionately express her love for Ben and her confidence in saying yes at the altar. Her sister's girlfriend reacts with this lackluster, "That's great," just like avoiding eye contact and frowning, and the tension is just real. But yeah, next episode we will start up with Dave and Lauren having their conversation that they took elsewhere. So if you're ready to see that one, stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell so you're updated when that one is uploaded. And if not, and you want to watch something else of mine, I picked this video just for you. So please check it out. I think you'll really like it. And I will see you in my next one. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.